coffee machine, he got all jammed up. And so my sister said, "So Mama, who did you tell?" She said, "I didn't tell nobody. I'm not going to tell on myself." So my mother said, "Don't tell on yourself." I told that for this brother right here. He know what we talking about. Amen. I ain't going to put it in the street, but we know, don't we? Amen. Don't tell on yourself. See, sometimes folk won't even know. That's right. That's right. If you don't do what? That's Velma Bernice Plummer Chambers Dew.
Man.
You're born and raised in Beaumont, Texas.
What's the name again?
Yeah, my mother. All right, what I want to do is, in this book that I recommended, the information is in your syllabus on this book, Cleophas LaRue, The Heart of Black Preaching. Cleophas pastored in Corpus Christi, Texas.
And Waco.
Yeah, and Waco. And went back and got his PhD. He's now a professor of homiletics at Princeton Theological Seminary. I think you heard him, Pastor Guy. He came to the workshop about 3 years ago that we did at Northern, and I'm grateful to God for him. But in his book, he has several sermons, but I just want to read a portion of the introduction of 3. This particular sermon was written by a preacher named Francis Grimke, who lived from 1850 to 1937. He was a Presbyterian minister and a leading advocate of civil rights. The subject of his sermon is a resemblance and a contrast between the American Negro and the children of Israel.
Amen.
The opening sentence. In this record, there is a contrast suggested between our people in this country and the children of Israel in Egypt, and also a resemblance to how I desire for the moments that I shall occupy to call attention. Number 1, the children of Israel went down into Egypt of their own accord. 10 of the sons of Jacob first went down to buy corn, owing to the very severe famine that was raging in their own country and in all the surrounding countries. This journey was again repeated sometime afterward, at which time they were joined by Benjamin, the man in charge of affairs, having made that a condition of their seeing his face. It was during this second visit that Joseph was made known to his brethren, through whom an earnest invitation was sent to his father Jacob and all the members of the family to come and stay in the land, with the promise that all of their wants would be supplied. It was in response to this invitation that the family packed up everything which they had and went down to Egypt. They went down from choice. It was a voluntary thing on their part. They were not forced against their will. The opposite of this was true in the case of the coming of our forefathers to this country. It was not a voluntary act on their part. They were seized by slave hunters and, against their will, forced from the land of their birth. Left to themselves, they never would have sought these shores. That's a great, to me, that's a great introduction.
Yeah.
I probably should not have said that. I should have asked, what do you think about that introduction? So I'll give you another chance. I'll give you another chance with a more contemporary preacher. This is Jeremiah Wright, Jr., who pastored Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago. The title of the sermon is Unexpected Blessings.
Man.
Have you ever been engaged in your normal routine when all of a sudden the Lord stepped in and blessed that situation beyond your wildest dream? I like to call these instances the times of unexpected blessing. The biblical record is replete with instances of unexpected blessing. In Genesis 21, Abraham and Sarah, who were way past the childbearing years, she was 90, he was 100, experienced one of God's unexpected blessings, a child. Sarah said, God has brought me joy and laughter. In Exodus 3, an African prince who was guilty of murder and was a fugitive from justice lived in exile far away from the scene of the crime and way out of the jurisdiction of the court, with arrest warrants out on him and the statute of limitations passed in another time, in another country, in another life. With a new identity, Moses was happily married to a raven black beauty and had several children. One day, as he was attending his father-in-law's sheep on the backside of a mountain in Midian, he ran into one of God's unexpected blessings. A bush on fire and not on fire all at the same time. A voice unlike any other voice ever heard, coming from a God with a name as mysterious as the voice, was compelling him to lead his people an unexpected blessing.
Amen.
What are your thoughts about that introduction?